Hello there, guys and girls, and welcome again to another YouTuber Spotlight. Working down the list here, we've got a lot of submissions for this series, which is absolutely great. Today's entry is by probably the channel that has the coolest Total War, well, the coolest channel that's related to Total War in terms of the way they call themselves. This is Milk and Cookies Total War. I know, pretty awesome. And what they do the best, I feel, is they cover sort of multiplayer battles on several Total War platforms. Shogun, Rome, Medieval, I think they have some videos as well. But yeah, it's basically a channel where you can get some really cool analysis. They have two people, Madness and Indie Pride, and they work together to sort of maintain the channel. And I think it's a really cool channel if you're into the multiplayer side of Total War. So check them out. I'm gonna insert their video right after this. So be sure to watch it and check their links out in the description. And please go subscribe, comment on their videos, like their videos, interact with their videos, and help them grow a little bit. So yeah, thanks to Milk and Cookies Total War for their submission, and thank you guys for the support. And I'll see you next time.
Guys, this is Indie Pride with Milk and Cookies Total War, and I just want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays for all of you Total War fans out there. And I want to start out this commentary by just giving a big thank you to GamerDuster for allowing my gameplay and our channel to be on his channel and just giving us a shout out. We really appreciate it, and so thank you to him. And I'd just like to start out by giving an overview of our channel. Milk and Cookies Total War is run by two people. Me, I'm Indie Pride, and Madness, who is a German, and we met in a couple of months ago in Fishy's Classic Battle tournament, and we played in that tournament, and we decided to make a channel after it, and we mainly focus on Total War content. Shogun 2 is the big one. We do Follow Samurai and Vanilla Shogun 2, but we also do Medieval 2 and Rome Total War as well. So yeah, if you guys could come check us out, we'd really, really appreciate it. We have a lot of Total War content for you guys, and even more coming. And obviously, when Rome 2 finally drops, we'll be doing co-op campaign content for that, and obviously a lot of multiplayer battles. So let's get into this replay right here. This was the second round of the Gerudo Flash Tournament number 27, and it had some weird rules. It was started by Zeript. I'm sure a lot of you know him. He's good friends with GamerDuster, and it was supposed to be, every battle was supposed to be played on a snowy map at nighttime, and this was the second round of the tournament, and it was supposed to be played on Operation Santa, which it was a Christmas map that was released last year, and it's a kind of weird map. It's very cinematic looking and very beautiful to look at. It's not my favorite map, though, because it's very choke pointy, and you'll see what I mean in a couple minutes. But yeah, this was a pretty good replay. My opponent here is Dave the Brave, and let's go over his army setup real quick. He's got some Nodachis, Naginata Warrior Monks, Naginata Attendants, and he'll have some Hidden Cav that comes out later. And he was a very, very good opponent. And then looking at my setup real quick, I had a Fire Cav, a couple of Yari Cav, and a Naginata Warrior Monk Cavalry, all pretty highly upgraded. And I have a Sword Corps going on, Katana Samurai and Nodachi mixes, Light Cavalry, a couple of Naginata Attendants up front, and 2 Yari Ashigaru. So let's press play right now. And one of the reasons I don't really like this map, like I said, it's kind of choke pointy. That mountain in the middle there kind of makes you focus all of your forces on one side or the other. And because of the hills that are in both spawn points, it kind of makes it so that, I don't know, it kind of promotes camping, but you won't see that often in tournaments, especially against high-level players. You want to take control of those key buildings right at the start of the battle, obviously. So what I wanted to do at the start of this battle was, I was pretty sure that I had the cavalry advantage. I have really strong cavalry, Yari cavalry with 19 attack, Fire cavalry 23. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to just flank my cavalry all the way around and get up on the top of this hill so that anything I charge down into, I can do a ton of damage to. But what I wanted to do first was I definitely wanted to capture that workshop. Obviously, for those of you who have played Shogun a lot, know how important controlling key buildings are. And so I'm going to bring my Naginata attendants forward and just kind of set up on the right behind this workshop. And he does have a Daikyu Samurai, which I forgot to mention. And I think that was an interesting choice. I would not say this is a particularly good map. for Daikyu Samurai or bows for that matter. There's just so many trees, and especially at nighttime in the snow, I believe this was played at nighttime, so their range or accuracy is reduced. And he's in loose formation, which was another, I think, maybe a mistake. Because loose formation, I don't have any range units. As you can see, I'm bringing an entirely rush army. So there's no reason for those to be in loose formation, and their arrows are less effective when they are in loose. So what I want to do is I'm going to shift over to the left side. Looking at it from my perspective, I want to shift over to the left side of this workshop and just try to overwhelm his right flank. And at the same time, get my cavalry around behind him and just pretty much surround him. What is going to happen here, though, is I'm going to bring my cavalry around, and his cavalry is going to come out of hiding. This was a mistake of mine. I should have known that he had cavalry hiding. But they pop out right here, and I decided to take the cavalry engagement on because I had the uphill advantage. And so I'm going to tie down his cavalry with 2 of my units, and I'm going to flank the other 2 around, and I'm going to get my Yari Ashigaru and Spear Wall up in front and just absorb the charge from these no-dachis. Obviously, I don't want those no-dachis getting a free charge off into my sword units. And so I'm going to Spear Wall and get them in a kind of V formation and just kind of get them trapped in between those Spear Walls. And get my cavalry around behind the 2 units that I wasn't using, 2 cavalry units, get them behind and try to do some hammer and anvils. And I'm just going to get all my infantry into melee right now. But the interesting about this is that he's going to send 3 of his powerful infantry units around my right flank, and I'm going to do the same to him on his right flank. And so we're just trying to surround each other. It's just kind of a game of cat and mouse right now. We're going to see what we can do to each other. But I'm going to tie down the big melee blob here in the middle with 3 or 4 of my infantry units, and then flank up 2 swords around and try to get some flanking charges off with that. I did not dedicate enough people to my right flank, though, so he's going to be able to hurt me over on that side. But as you can see, my light cav is coming in here, and I'm going to get a rear charge off on that Daikyu, do a lot of damage to that. That was pretty cost-effective for me. And as you can see on my left side, his cavalry is losing to mine in melee, so I'm going to take those guys out. And as soon as I get his cavalry off the field, I will be able to have free reign with my cavalry and just be able to hit anywhere on the line I choose. I would say at the moment, it's pretty even in the middle, but he's definitely winning over on my right flank because I only sent 1 katana unit to hold down 3 of his powerful sword and naginata units. But really, what's going to turn the tide of this battle for me is my cavalry. I have a naginata warrior monk cav and a Yari cav left. And so I'm charging downhill into his Yari cav. I'm going to be able to take them out and get a flanking charge off into his naginata attendants and no-dachis and cause some major morale penalties here. But at the moment, this battle is dead even. It can go either way. Really, it's up to me to just get his cavalry off the field. And I finally have my naginata warrior monk cav in a perfect spot behind his infantry line. And I just broke his right flank. And I'm just going to get some rear charges off with my naginata warrior monk cav and try to rout this infantry in the middle here. And really, Naginata Warrior Monk Cav are great for hammer and anvils because they're really good in prolonged melee. You don't need to keep cycle charging with them because it's not the charge that really makes them effective. It's how effective they are in melee with 19 attack. But I just charged his general, and I'm trying to take that out. I somehow fail at taking him out, which was a little bit embarrassing because he started wavering, and I thought he was going to die, and so I pulled my guys out, and he ends up coming back. But it looks pretty even at the moment, but he has a lot of really strong infantry units left. And I'm going to try to flank around and get rear charges off on them. But he has Naginata Warrior Monks and Naginata Samurai, which are high morale, high defense units, so they can withstand charges from the rear. And this infantry engagement is not going to be easy for me. I do have him surrounded, though, which is good, and I have cavalry left. But in a couple seconds here, my guys are going to start wavering, which I thought was very strange because I had them surrounded. But I had taken a lot of losses at this point, and my guys are just going to start wavering, and I was a little worried at this point because the balance bar said it was way in my favor, but my guys were losing in the engagement, so I wasn't really sure what was going to happen here. But I have a katana left and a bunch of units wavering in the middle, but I still have my Naginata Warrior Monk Cavalry. He goes back into stand and fight to give the morale bonus to his men. And I'm just going to get a rear charge off with my Warrior Monk Cav bring my katanas back into the fight and use them as a hammer so I can repeatedly hammer and anvil with them and try to rout the remaining units. But like I said, Naginata Samurai are very highly armored, and so rear charges on them aren't quite as effective on other units. But at this point, I was pretty sure that I was going to be able to pull out the battle because my katanas have 23 attack, and I still had the cavalry advantage, and I could just charge into his rear as much as I wanted. And I finally won that. So I ended up pulling out the battle. It was really close, and I want to say good game to Dave the Brave because he played really well. And that was the second round of the tournament. And if you guys come check us out, I will also be bringing you the third round of the tournament and my matchup against Fatal Imprudence, who's a really good player, been in a lot of tournaments. But I hope you guys enjoyed that, and like I said, we have tons of content on our channel. We have a co-op campaign for Fall Samurai. We have lots of multiplayer battles of high-level players, some really good players. A lot of them you'll recognize, like Agony Twitchy, Boss Tycoon, some really good players, replays that we have on our channel. And we also have Medieval 2 replays, and we're going to be starting Rome pretty soon here as well. So we have a lot of Total War content, and if you could please come check us out, it would be greatly appreciated. Again, I'd like to say thank you to GamerDuster for allowing us to post on his channel. It's greatly appreciated. So if you could please come check us out and subscribe, that would be awesome. And I will talk to you guys later. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed.